Hey everyone, Eric with Rockin' HTV session number 28. Tonight we have a video request by Tim Holker. He said, hey, I'm getting lots of questions on how to do buildings. Can you do a video on how to make a building? And here we are. Tonight we're going to make an 80 by 100 foot 164 scale machine shed. And this is going to be basically a super basic type shed. This is a beginner shed. And nothing fancy. So we'll let everyone get in. Hey Dustin, how are you? Haven't talked to you in a while. Good to see you. Matt Smith is there. It's good to see you. Vaughn and Brandon are here. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. And we are rock and rolling. There's Josh. Nice to see you. 8:24 here in Dodge City, America. And we are going to get cranking here at 8:30. So if you're just now joining, tonight is session 28. Hi Dylan, how are you? We are working on a 80 by 100 foot 164 scale machine shed. So this is just something that was requested, and here we are. Now we're going to do it. So I got to introduce a special guest here. I have my nephew. There he is. There's Caden.
Hi.
Caden's with me tonight. He has been helping me learn how to do a shed, so we've been practicing out here in the lab and working on it together. So Thank you for joining me, Caden.
Yes.
My nephew's visiting for a day or two here, and good to have him around out in the shed. Hey Nathan, how are you? And I think I have another nephew back over here. He's shy. He didn't want to be on camera, but he said he'd come out here and hang out with us anyway. So there's Matt. Oh, there you are. Okay. So Nathan's in. Eric, how are you? Nice to see you tonight. And good crowd. Welcome, welcome. So again, this will not be a real fancy shed. This is for the beginner. I've kind of copied something that I've seen on eBay and then some other places online. And so we came up with the dimensions ourselves just by Googling machine sheds. Then we went to Hobby Lobby today and we picked out some foam board and then kind of just started working on it till we figured it out. So we actually have practice here. As you guys know, I'm very, I love practice. So this is practice. This is the machine shed we just finished up a little bit ago. Actually, let me unplug here. So this is essentially what we're going to make. So we have the front here, and these are actual dimensions off of a machine shed you could buy. I don't remember what company we found, but this is just, like I said, this is a beginner shed. Like beginner shed, so when someday you want to afford a nicer one, you can go buy one, or maybe you don't have a lot of money or you just want to practice, here you go. This is a good way to start, because these are stupid inexpensive to make. Okay, that's all I will say on that. So, how is everybody doing this summer? I know a lot of you have been traveling and doing different things, building stuff. What's everyone up to this summer? Oh, I'll show them here in a minute. Yeah. I tell you, I've been busy. Let me see, I've been to, I went to England in May. Then I had a work trip to Florida. Then I went to Texas to pick these guys up and had some fun. And then, gosh, I'm going back to Oklahoma this weekend to go fishing with my dad and my couple of good friends. And, oh, what else, man? We're not done yet. Summer's just half over. Woo, we're just getting started. That's cool. So that's pretty awesome. So if anyone's had an exciting trip, please post where you went. Yeah, so am I, Matt. It is 93 in the shed. I still haven't bothered to put in an AC yet. Hey, there's Quentin. Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. Coaching ball, welding last week. Just normal stuff. Excellent. Well done, Dustin. I see you've been posting some cool stuff on Facebook, so that's cool. Here's Andrew. Welcome, welcome, Andrew. I think before we get started here, well, never mind. I'll just chill. Combining wheat and baling straw in Pennsylvania. Sweet. That is cool. My son on harvest, he has moved up to Montana. They are busy moving machinery probably right now. They're going to stay the night in Wyoming before they head on up with their second load of equipment up to Montana. So they went from Colorado to Montana, back to Colorado, and now back to Montana. It's crazy. Andrew, hi there. It's going very well. Thank you for asking. Okay, so we are going to see this thing through. This may go just a hair long, okay, guys? So just be with me on this. I like to keep these at 30 minutes, but I want to get this done in essentially 2 lessons. So next week we'll, I think we'll go ahead and do some painting. So, hey, Jordan, nice to see you. Well done. Been seeing you on Facebook a little bit. Dave, hey, there's Dave. Now there's the guy. If you want to see someone make some incredible buildings for displays, Dave Vo is your guy right there. He has got an amazing display. If you're not friends with him, check him out because he's got some really cool stuff going on. Brandon, how are you? Good in that tractor show? Excellent. Well done. All right. Well, guys, we are close enough to 8:30. We're just going to kick on and go. Okay, so. Hey everyone, this is Eric with Rockin' HTV, session number 28. Tonight we are going to work on a 80-foot by 100-foot foam board building. And this is going to be a very basic beginner type situation. This was a user, one of you guys watched and said, hey, show us how to make a building, so we're making a building. I've never done this before tonight. This is totally new for me. I bought the supplies earlier today. I've been daydreaming how I wanted to do it. And finally came up with a solution, and here we are. So I got my fancy helper over here, Mr. Caden, my nephew. Hi. Caden, there he is. Hi. He's going to be he's my wingman tonight, so everyone say hey to him. And I'm going to put you in the cradle, and I'm just going to go through a bunch of information first. And don't worry, I've got a special freebie for those of you in the Rockin' H No Secrets Lab. I'm going to post some information about what we're talking about tonight. It'll be useful for you if you want to do one of these, okay? It has to do with math. Okay, I'll leave that there. I'm going to put you in the cradle. I hope you can see everything. We're just going to have to go with it because this is the first time doing it this particular way.
Do you want me to take that over there?
No, you can leave it there.
All right.
It is okay. All right.
23 people, my golly.
All right. Sorry for all the wiggling, guys, and I'm hoping I can catch you here. You're probably not going to get to see everything as good as I'd prefer, but for our purposes, I don't think it's going to be a big problem for you. Okay. Okay, so this one is practice, and Caden, if you watch that screen there, and if anyone asks a question,
all right.
We're going to leave some time for questions here at the end, but this is practice. This is the one we made. I bought $12 worth of or was it $12?
I don't know. I think that was 3, the little ones.
Yeah, I think we bought like $12 worth of this foam board here from Hobby Lobby this afternoon, and then went online, did a little research on building sizes. I knew I wanted 80 by 20, but the door openings and things I was uncertain about. So we just did a little math on that and a little Googling on the internet and figured out what we wanted. And this is what we came up with. So basically, this is scaled down 1/64, 80 by 100. Okay, and we've got a side door here. And Caden said we need to put it at the back. So if you have a disc or something, or a combine being worked on here, you can come back here and get your baler. And he said, put that door in the back. And I said, well, by golly, quit being such a brute and a bossy man. So I put it at the back. So this is a 22-foot wide by 20-foot tall door. And then we have a big door up here. And this one is, just a sec. This is a 20-foot tall by 42-foot wide door, and so that way if you've got a 40-foot header, you can just drive that thing on in, or maybe you can unfold a disc or a big field cultivator or something in here if you wanted to and work on it.
It's hard to see because it's so white. It's like kind of hard to see where it's at. There you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you. And then the sidewalls here are 24-foot tall. And you'll see, look at that. See, they're not perfect, but it's okay. And then, just a little peek here, nothing big. We didn't really know what to do, and I wasn't good enough at math to figure out your run and all that stuff with roofing. That's not my skill set. So, we just made it up.
Yep.
And we wanted it so you could take the roof on and off. So again, this is not a glamorous type of shed. This is a very basic beginner shed, but really for what you got in it, it's perfect for beginners and do-it-yourselfers that just want to get started. Maybe you can't afford a real nice shed yet, and you just want something to put on your layout. Here it is. Or maybe you've got a cousin or nephew you want to make a Christmas gift for. Boom, right there it is. Okay? And since Caden is my good helper tonight, he has taken practice home.
I have one of a
So,
nice shed.
Here is practice, and off we go. Okay, now let's talk some measurements and math. Okay, now if you belong to the No Secrets Lab, later this evening I'm going to put in a screenshot of all the dimensions and everything that I've done here with all the math converted for your ease of use. I'm going to post that in the No Secrets Lab, and you can have that as a free gift for watching, and then I'll just leave that out there in the lab. So if you belong to my group, there's your free gift for the night. But what we have here, this is the floor, and we chose to put a floor underneath it. Caden says he's going to take his and spray paint it gray to look like concrete. This one I'm just leaving the way it is. But, so we have 100 by 80 here, and those dimensions, and you don't have to memorize them if you're part of the lab, but if you're not and you want these dimensions, make sure you write them down. This is going to be 15 inches by 18 long, 18 3/4 long. So 15 by 18 3/4. Okay? That is what we're using as a floor. We're also using the same piece for the roof, except one thing. Instead of 15, it's going to be 15 1/8 over here for the roof. Okay? And we'll get to that in a little bit. Okay. Next, we did sidewalls, okay? And I've done a few things here ahead of you while you guys weren't watching, just to save you time and keep the video moving forward. But we wanted to go ahead and scale this down, so we did a 24-foot tall sidewall, okay? 24 foot tall in 1/64 scale is 4.5 inches tall. So basically I set my square, can you see that real well? Okay. We set my square at this, and it is 4.5 on my square, and then cut. Okay, 4.5 again.
Okay. What do we do if someone has a question?
What time? Okay, let's do some questions at. Let's do questions at 8:45. We'll do round one of questions at 8:45. Central. Okay, and then so 4.5 inches tall, and again, these are 18 3/4 inches long. So 4.5 tall, 18 3/4 long, and these are my sides for the floor. Okay. Next, now this is where you actually get to see me do something, because I didn't want to leave you hanging on all that. So now we have the roof. Okay, and what we've done here is the ends are 4.5. And then we went in the middle, we measured in the middle and went to 5, so we just have a little bit of a peak here, not much. And again, if you were a super good engineer type guy, or maybe you had a head for math, and you could figure out the run and all that other stuff, you could probably get this much more accurate than I did. We just picked 1/2 inch extra above, just because we thought, well, that looks good. So that's why we choose that.
Not a super big peak.
Yeah, we didn't want a super big peak. Caden said, no super big peaks. All right.
Peak.
So here we are. This is one end, and then we'll measure up the other end and go with that. So if you're having questions, make sure you're writing those down, and I'll get to those in about 8 minutes. We'll do the first round. Okay. So now what we'll do is we're going to actually do some cutting. And this is where a super sharp X-Acto knife is necessary, because what we found doing this is it just cuts better, and that's why to use it. So super sharp X-Acto knife, get a new blade out, break that in, and then go to cutting. And if you can, cut without, see, am I there? Yeah. Without, getting at a bad angle or something weird like that, that makes these edges square and flush, and then it just goes together. All the seams look nicer. We didn't do the best job on this first round. As you can see, we did some cutting, and obviously some of them aren't as good as others. But then again, if you screw this up, how much did you pay for this stuff? $3?
Yeah,
$5 maybe at the most? So guess what, guys? You have plenty of room to make mistakes and feel good about it. Okay, so we'll just do some cutting here. Being careful not to slip and cut our fingers, because that's not fun. And Caden chickened out. He said he wasn't going to go cutting on live TV because he didn't want to run a X-Acto knife through his thumb and bleed on camera.
No, it is. I'm not going to make a bad cut. I'm not making a bad cut.
Yeah, that I didn't want your mom to see you bleed on camera and then beat me up when she sees me next time.
Yep.
Okay.
About right.
There's one of our ends. Okay. Set that off to the side. Then I kind of already measured the center line all the way through, and then I measured 5 inches up. So now all we have to do is do 4.5 up a corner for the corner, another 4.5 for a corner. Sorry, I'm left-handed and you can't see. Is that in the shot, Kay?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Make sure to leave your questions, because we're going to do our first set of Q&A in 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm just drawing a line because I want to. I don't know that you have to, but it seems like this kind of work is not where I shine, I can tell you that, but we're getting it to where we have something reasonable to use.
Never apologize for being a lefty. Nathan Durbin.
All right, Nathan, another lefty, that'll work. All right.
Left is right.
Okay, well, we'll show all the righties. I can hang with them. Watch that. Oop. Okay. Okay, there's another end. Did it look good, Caden? Did they pass the test?
Yeah.
Okay. One thing that I didn't tell you, it just occurred to me. Oh, wow. That one's all screwy.
Brandon Cooper says I'm a lefty.
Excellent. Brandon, you can be in the club. Okay. One thing I failed to mention as I was cutting these down, these are slightly narrower than 15 inches, okay? So we said our floor...
Dylan Boak. I'm left-handed too. LOL.
Okay. So we said our floor was 15 by 18 3/4. And we cut this one, our one wall, sidewall, down to 18. I don't think I grabbed the right one. We cut our sidewall down to 18 3/4. But what we're doing, what we decided earlier this evening was, so we have our sidewall here. Can you see that all right?
Maybe a little.
Well, here, I'll move the stuff so it doesn't
okay.
bounce. Yeah. Okay.
My gosh, your phone's
So what we wanted to do is have the ends inside. So you actually have to cut these just a hair narrower than the floor you're using, okay? And if that's not clear, make sure you ask me questions later. So these are actually 14 1/8 wide. And this is the end. So 14 1/8 on the end, 4.5 high, and then 5 in the middle. Now, all of this is subjective. For those of you that don't need a lot of rules to play with, you just need some guidelines. Remember, everything I'm doing here, we've kind of made up to some extent, especially the point here, and some of these other spots. So you can make this taller or not than what we've done. We've just picked this because we liked it.
We've got some questions.
Okay. Should we just do questions now?
Let's do questions.
Okay. Let's see what we got here.
All right. Eric Clinton says, "Can you get the same foam board from Walmart, or is this stuff you are using different?"
No, I don't know that this is at Walmart. This is just Hobby Lobby stuff, and here's what I paid for it. Actually, it was 30% off today, didn't I? But this is just stuff from Hobby Lobby, and like I said, I imagine you can buy it at Walmart. I don't know.
It's just foam board, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just foam board. Foam board you can find anywhere.
Yeah.
So there's your question answered.
Okay. Anyone else with questions? We're going to start our questions early.
No, I think you're good.
Okay. Well, we like that. Okay.
Being here. Oh, here's another one. Hanson Dittmer. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. How do you put it together?
Ha! You just jumped ahead of us a little bit, Brandon. Was it Brandon?
No, Hanson.
Hanson. I'm sorry, Hanson. We're going to get to that in just a few. Hang with me. We'll be there in less than 10 minutes.
And Eric Clinton says, "Awesome. Thank you both."
You're welcome. All right. Okay, so we want a front door on this thing, and we're making our front door, what did we say it was? 42 by 20. Okay, 42 by 20. Now, for those of you that are not good at math, what?
Sorry, this is another question. Andrew Phillips. Can you spray paint this, or will the paint eat it?
Next week, I'm going to do exactly that. So that'll be lesson 2. We'll be painting this thing up. Good question. Okay, so back onto the door. And I'm going to hold off on questions here for a little bit.
All right.
So we said 42 foot wide, 20 foot tall. Is that right? Did I say 20? Yeah, 20 foot tall. That scales down to 7 7/8 by 3 3/4. So we're going to measure this thing 7 7/8 wide and 3 3/4 tall. Okay? Let's get on that. I'm going to adjust my square to 3 3/4. Let's see. I'm going to have to take off my glasses. Oh, got it.
We're going to do another Q&A at 8:55, 10 minutes, or what do you
Yeah,
want?
we'll do it here in 10 because by then we'll be close.
All right.
Okay, so I got me a straight edge up here at 3 3/4. Then what I did, just because I wasn't sure how to make 7 7/8 in the middle of this thing, I divided it in 2, which is basically, it's 3 15/16. So 3 15/16 here on either side of the center line is what you want. So 1, 2, 3 15/16 right there. And then we're going to go down, and there's 15/16, 1, 2, 3. And there's our door. Okay. Whoops. And next week what I'm going to try to do, well, what I'll do while you guys aren't watching is I'm going to practice once on some scraps with some primer, just regular old Krylon cheap primer. And then I'm going to practice with different colors of paint on this to see how it goes. That way, if you guys want to paint it up, you'll know what to use. Okay. And then, finally, right over here. Okay. And our sharp X-Acto knife. Off we go there. Okay. So, Caden, you gonna sing us a song so we don't have dead air time?
No, but you can sing a song, and here's just a quick question. Will you do a lean-to?
Lean-to? On this building or on a different one?
I don't know. Would you want it on this building or on a different one? Hanson.
Well, I can tell you how I think I'd do it. And if it doesn't get too late, we'll just do it.
There you go. There's your answer. On a different. He says on a different.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be real difficult, actually.
And John Denny says, yes, Waller Build has the same foam board, just not as many colors as Hobby Lobby. You can get the board in many colors. So.
Ooh, well that'd get you out of painting right there. It's just find the right color of foam board and forget the whole painting business.
Hanson Dimmer, are you saying it doesn't matter what color, or it doesn't matter though? It doesn't matter though what color it is, are you saying?
Okay.
I don't know.
Alright. Where do we want this door, Caden?
We put ours to the back. We can try
Do it again?
Yeah, back was best.
Okay. 42 by 20. There it is. And you saw me kind of watch me while we were talking and chatting. Nothing to it with a sharp X-Acto knife, and then just measuring it out. And remember, I had a center line, 3 15/16 on either side of that center line, so I had it pretty darn close to being in the middle. And then, of course, use my combination square to get it at 3 3/4 tall. Okay, there's the steps. All right, let's leave that end over there. And now we're going to put in a side door just for the fun of it. You don't have to, but we're putting in a side door because we like it.
A little more realistic. And can I say this real quick?
Yep.
So, Hanson, what are you saying? You can do it on any building? Are you talking about painting or just something else? You gotta be specific.
Okay. I don't know. Let's just let's put this door in the middle for fun.
Middle? All right, let's do it for fun.
Do that. So we're gonna put it in the middle.
Let's do it for the fun.
You know, one thing we didn't do was cut these down while we were getting ready in the show prep. We'll have to make one little cut on these. We can clear it up after the fact too, so.
Alright.
We don't have to do it all right here. Okay. Whoops. Did that. So we're going to go. So we're putting a 22 by 20 foot door over here. And 20, of course, as we've been using all along, is 3 3/4. So there it is. And I'm going from the center of our wall to the back. And then 22 foot is 4 1/8 inches. And how do I want to do that? Let's see if we can use this one. All right. So we're going to make a little mark back here. I don't like that. Let's try it that way. There we go. That's better. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1/8. Boom. Set that off to the side. 8:52. We're not doing too bad, are we?
No, I'm doing another Q&A at 8:55 because you're getting some questions.
Okay. We will do one at 8:55.
All right, we'll do another Q&A at 8:55 for all you who are asking questions.
Okay. That's the beautiful thing about this stuff, you know, it's just so darn economical. If you screw it up, whoop-de-doo. You start over and keep going. Because we had to do that on one piece. It's like, wow, that's kind of weird. Let's just discard that one and make another one.
There's a personal question for you up here.
Yeah, we'll get that there, right?
Alright.
Okay, there's our sidewall. And, okay, then one other thing we failed to do in the pre-show, or excuse me, before we started this evening, we need to make these 18 3/4. Okay, and if you have one of these little things, just, if you got a sharp knife, just come in here and take it off. Got a little hiccup. stick up there, no problems. And I'm doing this pretty darn fast, so I would hope that most of you guys watching will take your time and, you know, when you're not under the gun and trying to be respectful of others' time, just, you know. Okay.
And it will be on YouTube later on.
Yep, I have to demonstrate to Caden how to put it on YouTube. So, okay, let's see, get the floor real quick, and we'll be ready to go again. Okay, that's the right one, isn't it? Yep, there we go. I didn't write floor on it. Okay. Okay, I think we're ready for questions. Okay,
Alright,
let's
so
go.
Dustin Montgomery, I don't think he wants me to read this one out loud, so you might just want to read it. I don't know.
Oh, a bifold door? Oh, there you go. That would be an actually pretty good tutorial. I think I have in mind how a guy could build that. For those of you who don't know what a bifold door is, it's a vertical door, and it folds up actually like this on the machine shed. So I think if you use some really thin styrene, or not some really thin, but some thin, some sort of styrene.
Like
yeah, and then and I would go and get some little hinges for doll houses. That's how I'd put that dude together.
That's hangers like that. That's hanger.
Yep.
And another one. Another fun fact: Hobby Lobby also says printed sheets with different patterns like bricks or panels for $1.99. You can use it to look at the details on sites to make it look more realistic. Hanson Dittmer, will you post the dimensions for it, like the conversions that you did from feet to inches?
I will in the No Secrets lab. I'll have it there this evening after we're done.
And Evan Funk, will you sell the finished piece?
Well, you're gonna have to fight Caden for one of them.
I did. If you want to sell, I don't care.
Well, let me see how this turns out at the end of this, and if you want it, talk to me next week after next week's lesson on painting it, and we'll go from there.
And Dustin Montgomery also says fishing line with dollhouse hinge.
There we go. Perfect. We own it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions before we start gluing this together?
Any questions? Last questions? Anyone? No.
Okay.
We're good.
All right.
We'll do things.
Okay, here we are. We're good. We're good. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to start putting this together.
Alright.
You're going to have to be patient with us because this does take... I found it works better if you got two hands. Okay? And one thing we did notice is this foam board does seem to kind of warp a little bit. Don't know why. It just did. Maybe it's because it's like 400 degrees here in the lab tonight. I'm not sure. So what we did was just kind of... Oh, crap. Don't do that.
We're going to do that.
We were bending it a little bit, but not putting a crease in it.
Yeah, don't bend it too far. You might break it.
So if you do that, put it on the inside. But that did seem to work really well earlier. Not so much at this very second. Okay.
That's okay.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do one side and then we'll do the other.
All right.
Okay. All right. So, Maestro. Okay, I am using just CA glue to glue it together. I think before we get very far, I'm going to just put a little dab of a seam of this wood glue on the inside just to ensure that it stays together. I don't know how well the CA glue is going to work over time, but this worked wonderfully earlier. And this is just a different... This is what I love using, and I bought this by accident, so I'm burning it up. Same stuff, just not as thick. This is much thicker, which is better. This is not. Anyway, so I'm just using regular old CA glue to put this bad boy together. So, and then we're also using Instaset to keep the project moving forward. So what we're going to do is I'm putting a pretty generous amount of this... as I get it down the side, pretty generous amount of CA glue on it. I don't know if you can see how much I'm putting on there, but... And I'm managing to get it all over the place tonight. Holy cow, that's terrible. Alright. And if my partner in crime will come over here and insta-set me.
I'm not trying to get in the shot here. That's good, maybe?
Yeah.
Alright, sorry if I got in the way. Good.
Put one right down here on the end by my hand.
There we go.
Perfect.
Alright.
Okay. There. So we had the insta-set on it straight away. And then we're just going to check it for square real fast to make sure we've got that right. And then I'm going to come over here with a rag, and anything that I maybe mistook or overglued, we're just wiping that off the outside. And I think we're okay there. Whoop. And it's pretty well set. Okay. Then we're going to flip it around.
There you go.
Do it again. Now you'll notice the Insta-Set, if you keep it lower, this gray line here won't show up so much. We're going to paint it anyway, or I think we're going to paint it. We'll see how this all goes, or at least the outside will paint. So that Insta-Set is going to leave a little watermark, or it looks wet right there. Hopefully that'll go away over time. We'll find out.
Cool. Can I say a quick question?
You want to make a comment?
There's a question.
Oh, sure.
Okay, Hanson Dittmer says, where do I get those needles and pusher and Insta-Set?
Insta-Set you can buy at Amazon or any good hobby store. These I buy from the farm store in the livestock section.
And it helps if you cut off the tip so you don't stab yourself.
Right. Take a file and file it down.
And you do get the foam from Hobby Lobby or Walmart. It does not matter, Evan Funk.
Right on. And Hobby Lobby has more colors according to one of our good viewers.
Someone
Thank
said
you for that.
could get it in brick, so I guess that might make it a little more texture.
Yep, just another addition, bit of realism.
Do you want me to come around there so they can see that?
Sure. There you go.
I'll put it a little lower this time.
There you go. And like I said, if you have an extra set of hands when it comes to assembly, it'll help you. It's not mandatory, but certainly this has been a huge benefit.
Let's squirt down there. Beautiful,
Okay.
beautiful.
And so you'll notice, again, we're in good shape. Almost forgot to check for square.
This is poster board, right? Or is it foam board?
This is foam board.
Foam
Here,
board,
let me show
Evan.
you. Here you go.
There you go, yeah. Some foam, it's foam board, not poster.
Okay. All right. We're doing well. Okay. Now we'll do the ends. Let's get that out of the road. This. Uh-oh. Did we grab the wrong one, or did I cut too short?
I don't know.
Rats.
Here, can you cut off a piece and slip it in there, or that would just...
Who didn't measure twice? I think that was you.
That might have been me. Well,
Okay, luckily for us, didn't I just say earlier, guys, that if you happen to make a mistake, you've got
cheap,
more than
yeah.
one... Yeah, guess what? You're going to see that in action. Let's just give this a go. We're at 14 and
Exact measurement.
almost 5/8. Huh. Wow, that was weird. Okay, so sorry about this, but we're going to just do this quick and get you off and down there. 1, 2, 5. All right.
Matt Smith. Some people measure twice. I buy extra wood. Hello, though.
Yeah, I tell you, that's one thing I don't like about doing home improvement projects at my house, because it costs twice as much and takes 10 times more time. Let's just do this. We're going to do this at 4.5.
Hello, Clint Thomerson.
Hi, Clint. How are you tonight? You are watching me repair a mistake.
And the stuff is cheap. It's easy to make. It's easy to do. Fix a mistake. Sorry.
Let's see, and I got my measurements over here. There we go. Just need those. So that'd be 14 and a half, 7 and a quarter, just a touch. Okay. Perfect. All right, I like that. Then we're going to measure at 5 and a half again. Actually, that's hard to read. I'm going to measure with this.
Hello, Riley Hanson. Good to have you on the show tonight.
So what I'm going to do, well, I'll just go ahead and finish it off. We've got time.
Oh, it's not, like you said at the beginning, this might go a little longer, so it's all good.
I was just going to do one end and leave the other end open and get to the roof, but we'll just see it through. Okay. Yeah, it drives me crazy when I make mistakes. Don't like that, but it happens. All right. Yep. We'll wait, I think. Let's just get this through.
Alright, sounds good to me.
Ah! That didn't work, did it?
No.
Okay. Make sure you hug your measuring device when you're cutting your straight edge, whatever you're doing, and make sure you hug that thing, or else you'll. My knife likes to wander.
Oh. And yes, Jimmy Murs, sorry if I said that wrong. Interesting stuff is going on right now. It's quite fun though, you should try it yourself.
Okay, there's one of our ends. Let's take our scraps to the floor. There we go. Okay. And we're going to draw a straight edge with our big square. Start again.
Hey, Dad. Greg Myers joined. Sorry.
Tell him, don't tell Mom I cut my finger.
How about we don't tell Mom that Uncle Eric cut his finger? Looking good, guys. Thanks, Dad. It is looking good. We made a prototype earlier, and I get to take it home. Or maybe.
No, you get to take it home.
I get to take it home.
Okay, thank you guys for being patient as I kind of fix a quick little mistake.
Once again, this stuff's very cheap. Very cheap.
Alright. Can you see all that in the front?
Yeah, you're good. Mom says, wow, we are late to the party, but it looks like everything is under control and rocking along. And rocking is in parentheses.
Haha. Gotta love that. Okay. All right.
Take two.
Okay, this is where I begin to, I'm going to cheat just a little bit.
Looks better.
Okay. You noticed, remember how I have a straight line on here? Well, what I'm doing here is taking my other straight line from the from the piece I had too short. I'm just using I got them lined up. Everything is square on my end, so I'm just going to draw on the inside. Caden, would you put your hand right here? Thank you.
Wait, sorry.
No, that's all right. You're good. Perfect. Okay. There. So we just took a little shortcut there to keep this ball rolling forward. Again, as I've kind of said earlier, when you guys are at home taking your time, I mean, it's worth taking that extra bit of time to go slow and make sure everything's cut well, and
yeah,
that way everything will just line up better and it'll look better and you can be proud of what you did. I don't know if this is the kind of shed you'd want to take to a national display competition or something like that. I mean, maybe you could, I suppose.
Really took time.
But
ooh, much better.
there we go. Yep, we likey. That's much better. Okay.
It's a bit better now.
Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to go ahead and glue the front end for us. So that part's done because the back end is going to glue in just the same way. So that's really not a big deal. I'm not going to bother showing you that. But I do want to get to the roof and then answer any last minute questions you have and prep you for next week. So when I go ahead and glue the front or the rear end, the rear walls in, I'm going to glue along this edge. Okay. And then the bottom. And the bottom. And then the side again.
There's an interesting question.
Okay.
Give it a second.
Let's get this in first and then we'll take another question.
Alright.
You want to come on over here?
So we'll do some questions in a minute. So if you have any questions, think of them. I'll do them in just a minute.
Okay.
So right in the corner, you want?
We're good. I like those.
Right in the corner?
Yep. And then down there at the edge. Perfect.
That stuff burns your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's okay. Those of you that have used CA glue, you know how those fumes can get kind of strong. Caden just learned that.
Whoops. Wow.
Okay. And then finally for the roof. Again, we're going to cut just another 15 1/8 by 18 3/4 inch piece. Then we're going to measure in the middle. We're going to cut a shallow line and just basically crack the roof so it will rest on top of the building, okay? And that's all we're going to do there. While we're measuring on that, we'll do some Q&A.
All right. So Michael Jensen says, how hard would it be to hang lights from the roof, shop lights? Interesting.
Like, is referring to like LED lights?
Yeah. I don't know. She just says, or he or she, I'm sorry. How hard would it be to hang lights from the roof, shop lights? So I'm thinking she's just meaning some basic lights that you could just hang on top. Little simple lights.
I can't imagine it'd be too difficult. I think if you were to do that, what I think you'd want to do is make one side of your shed roof fixed, and then the other side removable. That way you wouldn't have your lights.
Stringing.
Yeah, they wouldn't receive any damage or anything as they were. Yeah, I think that's how I'd do it, just off the top of my head. But certainly you can do it. I mean, anything is possible. Just how willing are you to sit there and figure it out, or whatever. So yeah, it's actually kind of clever. You could run some pipe and some wire, and even put LED lights in it if you wanted to. Okay, 15 1/4, and we're going to go 18 3/4, or 15 1/8. I'm sorry, 18 3/4, and then we're going to cut the middle. 18 3/4. 3/4, 18. And I'm going to measure twice and cut once, hopefully this time. 18 3/4, 18 3. Oh, whew. Boy, we win! Yay! Okay. Okay. And then finally, we're going to measure this thing and cut a seam down the middle. So we're gonna, it's 15, right? So half of 15. It's actually 15 1/8, but we're using 15 as our measurement. And that is going to be 7.5. So making a mark there. 7.5, mark there. And then, okay, this is where something cool is about to happen. We're not going to cut all the way through this. We're going to make a shallow cut. Okay? And I wish I could tell you how to do this well, aside from you're just not going to cut through it. You're just scoring the top.
Kent Lowen joined. Sean Hayward joined.
Okay. Whoop. And then
boom. There's the shot.
And there's our roof. Ta-da! And then you can take this on and off as you wish. Again, guys, this is a beginner, basic type building. This is nothing fancy. You see, basically, it was just cutting stuff and doing math, and that's all it is. And you're about, we were $12 in materials, and guess what?
You saw a big old thing of extra.
I have this whole sheet right here of
it's all
leftover.
Extra. That's, we have a bunch of leftovers.
Yeah, so I got a whole extra piece left over, and we bought all that for $12 at Hobby Lobby. So, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to stick the end in just because I want to leave a few more minutes for questions because we're running long tonight. Are there any questions? While you guys are typing out what you want to know, I will tell you that I'm going to practice painting this week on scraps of stuff and see what works and what doesn't work. And then next week, we'll actually make this a two-tone. I'll probably leave the top like a white or something. I might not even paint the top, but then paint the outside walls 2 colors just for fun. If you wanted to, you could mask off and paint the trim and everything else. Just depends on how much work you want to put in it. But one other thing I'm going to do is I use CA glue to put all this together. And I think what I'm going to do is just use this wood glue and just put a little, just on my finger, just run a bead inside the joints just to keep it solid and make it nice and gorgeous.
We got some questions.
Okay, question time.
All right. Andrew Flip says, let's see a truck in the shed.
Oh, perfect. I can help you, Andrew.
All right, Andrew, here we go. We're going to get a nice, just regular truck in the shed. There you go.
And here, let's tell Andrew we're going to do this.
All right, we're going to get another, ooh, got a combine, Andrew. There you go. Getting some more stuff even.
What else? Oh, let's do a cart and
There you go. So this shed's decent size. See, there you go.
And I took the measurements from, actually I found the new Ag Talk message board, if anybody knows what that is. And one of the guys on the message board said, I wouldn't go with anything less than a 24-foot door. Okay.
There you
So
go.
that's what we have here is a 24-foot door.
And so there you go, Andrew. Now, Dustin Montgomery says, can you run a bead of glue on the seam of the roof when it is sitting there just so it won't bend when you take it off?
That's pretty darn good. I'll tell you what, Dustin, while we're all watching,
You can do it tomorrow. Okay.
let's just do that.
There you go.
Okay, but I'm going to use practice for this. Yeah, I'm going to use your roof. I'm going to use your shed, actually. Would you hold that, please? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we're going to go get practice, and we're going to try that. Okay.
But it has to be sitting on there just how you want it.
Yep.
So get it nice.
Hold on. We got to make it look cool, though.
Yeah, gotta make it look some...
Let's go ahead and put some stuff in there.
That's a good idea, Dustin. so it won't move around. You know, if you accidentally hit it, it might not break as easily.
And then we'll just make that one look like it's big.
There you go.
Okay.
Looks pretty good with the roof on it too. Like someone said earlier, lights on that would be pretty cool inside, you know? Put some lights down it, that'd be cool. Coolioso.
Okay. I would definitely reconsider using that much glue.
There's no glue in here.
Okay.
There you go, and Kyler Thomas says, "Evening, Eric."
Well, hi, Kyler. Kyler's your age.
He is. Cool beans. So there's that for you, Dustin. I'm thinking that would work a bit better if you did run a thing of glue down the top of that to make it stay a little more.
Yeah, you'll see the results of this next week after it's dry. Any other questions as I'm kind of finishing up here?
Matt Smith says, "Open that crack so it seeps in first."
Oh, come on now. You guys and your good ideas.
So this is why we have them, Uncle Eric.
There you go.
Just got everything, so when you forget it, they got it. It actually looks really cool.
Okay.
Beautiful. Ooh,
Now we'll see where this gets us. Okay.
got some glue on
All right.
there. Alright.
Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and pick up here and close out for the evening. Maybe I will. Try that again. There it goes. Holy cow. All right, guys, thank you for staying with me and for my little error there. Sure great to see everyone tonight. I thank you for paying attention and watching along. Again, wow. God, I don't know what to say here. Don't forget, in the No Secrets Lab, I will have a free gift for you later this evening. As soon as we kind of wrap up in here and get back in the house and cool off a little bit, holy smokes, I'll get that free gift in the lab for you, and it'll be all the dimensions of everything we've done tonight. So you'll have that for you. And I'll even take a few minutes and write down a few more instructions because we learned some things after we've done all this stuff. We learned a few things, and that'll be important in there too. So if you know somebody, can this be sanded? I don't know why not, Andrew. I mean,
Probably could. You can do it.
I can get a piece of sandpaper out here and practice on that before we kind of, after we're done, and report back what happened. I don't know why you couldn't. We'll find out. And then, yeah. So thank you guys for watching. If you know someone who wants a building and they're looking for a little DIY project, make sure you share this video with them. Again, this is not something I think you want to put on a big competitive display, but if you're needing to get started, this is a perfect way to do it. It's cheap. It's a great way to learn, and I really recommend you at least give it a go. So with that, I'm going to thank all of you for watching. I'm going to thank my sidekick over here, Caden.
Great time.
Thank you, Caden, for being a part of it as he visited Dodge City. And we will see you guys next week and in session number 29 when I actually do some painting on one of these buildings, okay? So we're going to paint it and have some great fun. We'll catch you later. Good night.